If you've ever cruised down 65, you've seen the signs for Cave City, where the roadside diners are hidden gems and the flavors are rock solid. Our next guest decided to dig in and see what this quirky Kentucky town is serving up. Here to tell us about his trip and let us in on a few dino-sized surprises is, of course, Barry Goodall from Goodall's Country Kitchen. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, you kind of teased this trip the last time you were in, and oh my gosh, you hit up every single spot there is over there.
Well, just about, but there's still a lot left to do that I did not feature. But before I start, let me just tell you, a lot of people go to the beaches in the summer,
yes,
and that's what I usually do too. But my family and I have booked a Disney cruise for next spring break.
Okay.
So my wife and I decided we were going to tighten the belt a little bit and do a staycation.
I love it.
So one of the things we've done in the past was the Cave City area, Mammoth Cave, a lot of activities to do. So we decided that's what we're going to do, a 3-day staycation.
Oh, that is so awesome. So my grandpa is from there originally, and we did a little bit of a cave tour, of course, Mammoth Cave, but I was like maybe 8 or 9 at the time. I need to go back, and so this is going to give me some inspiration for that trip.
So just a little over an hour's drive from Louisville, you head south on I-65, and we always start our trip at Kentucky Down Under.
Oh,
which,
you have to.
Oh yeah, it's a zoo, but it's kind of themed after Australia. You have all these kangaroos and emus, all kinds of wildlife. You can feed them, pet them, and of course they have a cave there.
Yeah.
Mammoth Onyx Cave, which you can do the little 30-minute cave tour, but it's really all about the animals and getting to interact with the animals. Like you get to feed not only the kangaroos, the emus, tortoises.
Look at that kangaroo.
Oh yeah, that's my nephew Jabe in there. But you also have another petting zoo section that has like all the goats and horses and things like that, which the kids just have a ball feeding the animals. You see the goats there, and that's what it's all about, is to let the kids interact.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So there you go, billy goats, and they have these huge draft horses like the Budweiser Clydesdales, and they're just as calm and meek, and the little kids get to pet them and feed them too.
So much fun. And so then you went up the road a little bit. Of course, you had to hit up Mammoth Cave.
Well, we stayed in Cave City, or I'm sorry, we stayed in Horse Cave for the first leg. We went to the Kentucky Cave Museum, and also on that same property is the Hidden River Cave, which is center of Horse Cave, right in the middle of downtown. There's this huge cave that runs underneath all the downtown section, and you get to go to that, and the museum's free.
Oh, that's great.
So that's one of the things that you want to try to tighten up. You go to that free museum. But from there, we went on into Cave City. We went to the Mammoth Cave Wildlife Museum, which was incredible. It was way more than what I'd imagined. Exotic animals from all over the world can be seen there. Oh, you see passing Wigwam Village. That stretch coming into Cave City there, to me, I refer to it as the Route 66 of Kentucky.
Okay, I love that reference.
Because it's like a travel through time.
Look at that,
you pass all these old motels, things like that. And the Wildlife Museum there, it's been around forever. And it's one of those things, it's very affordable. I think kids get in for like $5. And like I said, there's several hundred animals that are from all over the world, not just Kentucky native animals, but Africa. It's like taking a tour of Africa and getting to see all the animals there.
That's so cool.
And of course, we're building up an appetite as we're going here for all the kids.
I figured we'd be getting hungry at this point.
Oh yeah, but we got to make sure that they were good and hungry and good and tired too.
Yeah.
So from there we went to Dinosaur World, which I don't know if you've got any.
You can't miss it. There's so many billboards, and then of course you have like there's like 2 or 3 dinosaurs like right next to the billboard.
And you know the new Jurassic Park movie just came out like the week before we went there.
So you were ready.
As you see, Dinosaur World, it was a lot of fun there. and you get to see like the T-Rex, you know, the stuff that's in the movie. And it's actually kind of spooky because you're back in these woods with all those dinosaurs.
Well, with that windy little pathway.
Oh yeah, it's spooky. I mean, look, I mean, that's.
And they're
you feel like,
size.
yeah, you feel like you're in the movie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can see the whole crew there. Yeah, they had it. Oh yeah.
You're
T-Rex,
you're like, I'm out of here.
The T-Rex is coming after me. That's probably the fastest I've run in 30 years. But from there, we went to Mammoth Valley Park, where you have zip lining and the alpine slide you see there. Oh. It's just like, it's almost like going to Gatlinburg, but it's just an hour's drive down the road. So it's great. Oh. You see one of my daughters zip lining there.
Did you zip line?
No. I think they have a 250-pound weight limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so now they're as hungry as they can be, and you know kids, they love pizza. Mm-hmm. So we took them to Cave City Pizza, which was a huge treat. The family that owns it came here from upstate New York.
Oh, so it's for real.
Oh, it's the real deal. And they make New York style pizza, which is thin crust, not a lot of toppings, not a lot of cheese, but you know, it has a light cheese and very tasty and a crunchy crust. So, and a very nice couple, you can see there, very thin. The breadsticks, that's always a big hit with the kids.
Oh, yes. I just want to dig in now. I mean, look at that. That was like a super nice cheese pull.
Oh, yeah.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, if you're from New York and you claim you have New York style pizza, you better be able to back it up. And the person that recommended it to me, they're also from New York, and they swear that that's the closest to real New York pizza that they've had anywhere in Kentucky.
That's really saying something.
Now, I'm not making that claim because I've had quite a few good ones, but anyway, so the next day, we went caving and hiking. Okay, so
that's a whole day's worth.
Right. Plus, I'm teaching a little history along the way. So I took the kids. We started off at Sand Cave, which is in the Mammoth Cave Park, and that's where the legend of Floyd Collins began. Floyd Collins was a famous spelunker, caver.
Okay.
He would discover caves on people's farms. This is back during the 1920s, what was known as the Cave Wars. So he would develop, discover, and make them accessible for tourists. Well, he got back in this one cave, and it was a sand cave, and a rock fell on his leg and trapped him there. And for 15 days, locals were trying to dig him out, and it became a national sensation because radio had just started, and it was the first national broadcast on radio. So people came from all over the United States. It became like a carnival atmosphere, but unfortunately they could not get him out, and he died of exposure and dehydration in January 25th of 1925. But the legend was born. From there, we went to Onyx Cave and Rock Shop, which, funny story, it was discovered because they were trying to pave a parking lot for Guntown Mountain, which is next door, and a front loader excavator punched through a rock wall, and all this cold air started coming out, and they discovered the entrance. Well, that would later become the entrance to Onyx Cave. As you see, I have my family there and going deep down into this cavern.
That's a super narrow pathway right there.
Especially for a big guy like me. But it's very interesting there. That's what's referred to as a wet cave, which they have all the stalactites and the stalagmites because it's actively growing because there's water that's dripping. Like Mammoth Cave is a dry cave. That's why you don't see all the big formations. So when you go to Cave City area, make sure you go to some of these family-owned caves that are active wet caves because they have the more beautiful formations to look at.
Well, I'm definitely going to add that to my list. But quickly before we go, I mean, there was so much that you saw on this trip, and it's all over on his YouTube page. But can you give us a little teaser as to what you're going to talk about next month? Okay,
so I do my annual pilgrimage to the Kentucky State Fair. And that is my wheelhouse, because I'll try to go and show every good food booth that you can go to, show you the top ones of my choice. So of course, everybody knows the state fair is expensive, but I try to show you where you can get more bang for your buck.
Oh, yes. We see a foot-long hot dog there. Please tell me you added the donut burger to your list,
I
too.
do. Every year, that's a tradition.
Oh my goodness. Well, I cannot wait for that. We're also gearing up for the State Fair here on Great Day Live as well. We have a couple fun segments planned, but we're really getting excited for that. So thank you so much, Barry, for stopping by. You have added all these things to my next Cave City experience. So
all right. And y'all don't know nothing about this WHAS 11 Great Day Live.
Barry, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, if you want to learn more about all of Barry's travels, I mean, we didn't even get to half of all of that he experienced over in Cave City. Just go over to his Facebook page and, of course, his YouTube page to check out all of his adventures.